Welcome back. Little delay of the holidays. I didn't record enough episodes ahead of time in order to make us get us through. I took a little vacation with the fam. Let's get right into it. We are in Job at 21. Job is responding, saying that God will deal with the wicked. Then Job answered, "Listen carefully to my speech, and let this be your way of consolation. Bear with me, that I may speak. Then after I've spoken, you may mock. As for me, is my complaint to man? And why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be astonished, and put your hand over your mouth. Even when I remember, I am disturbed, and horror takes hold of my flesh. Why do the wicked still live, continue on, and also become very powerful? Their descendants are established with them in their sight, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, and the rod of God is not on them. His ox mates without fail. His cow calves and does not abort. And they send for their little ones like the flock, and their children skip about. They sing to the timbrel and the harp, and rejoice at the sound of the flute. They spend their days in prosperity, and suddenly they go to Sheol. They say to God, 'Depart from us. We do not even desire the knowledge of your ways. Who is the Almighty, that we should serve him? And what would we gain if we entreat him? Behold, their prosperity is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How often is the lamp of the wicked put out, or does their calamity fall on them? Does God apportion destruction in his anger? Are they as straw before the wind, and like chaff which the storm carries away? You say, God stores away man's iniquity for his sons. Let God repay him so that he may know it. Let his own eyes see his decay. Let him drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what does he care for his household after him, when the number of his months is cut off? Can anyone teach God knowledge, and that he judges those on high? One dies in his full strength, being wholly at ease and satisfied. His sides are filled out with fat, and the marrow of his bones is moist. While another dies with a bitter soul, not even tasting anything good. Together they lie down in the dust, and worms cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the plans by which you would which you would wrong me. For you say, where is the house of the nobleman? And where is the tent, the dwelling places of the wicked? Have you not asked wayfaring men? And do you not recognize their witness? For the wicked is reserved for the day of calamity. They will be led forth at the day of fury. Who will confront him in his actions, and who will repay him for what he has done? While he is carried to the grave, men will keep watch over his tomb. The clods of the valley will gently cover him. Moreover, all men will follow after him, while countless ones go before him. How then will you vainly comfort me? For your answer remains full of falsehood. So, Job is getting back to this. Again, this is a big back and forth between these two ideas that are really being fleshed out for the first time. And that is that God punishes the wicked, and that's all he does. And he blesses the righteous, and that's all he does. And he's like bound to this characteristic. He doesn't have freedom to do anything else. He is bound somehow. As powerful as he is, he's still bound to these rules where I don't do anything bad to those who are good, and I only do bad things to those who are bad, or I'll let them get away with it a little bit. And you're kind of seeing them make concessions of like, well, yes, obviously they have their day, but then they really get it. Just kind of like how you had your day and now you're really getting it, right? So there's these two ideas that they're arguing, and one is that God never does anything sideways to the wicked. To the righteous, right? He never lets them suffer, and he only punishes the wicked. And maybe there's like a little bit of a gray area where like the wicked kind of can flourish and store up wrath for God. And then they also make a concession that's like, yeah, sometimes they don't even get it. God stores their wrath up for their children, whatever. But ultimately, God punishes evil. And it's like, yes, that is true. And then Job is making the argument that like, no, God can do whatever he wants, obviously. He can punish and pour out, hardships and troubles and all sorts of trials and tribulations on the righteous. And he can let the wicked go free. Have the run of the place. He doesn't answer to anybody. He can do whatever he wants. He's obviously doing whatever he wants. I'm a righteous guy. I didn't do anything. Which then brings the second level of the argument that they're really going back and forth over. Is like, they're like, well, sure, Joe, but really we all know that God punishes evil at the end of the day. And that's true. You can't argue with that. He's punishing you, so you must be evil. And he's going, obviously he's not, and he's trying to convey that to his friends. But in this, he's just saying, like, look, even still, even if I was wicked, God doesn't even treat the wicked people like he's treating me. This is beyond what even they get. They all die too. And they die fat. Look at the wicked. Look at the wicked rulers out there. Look at the people that are out there. They got big houses. They have a full family, just like I had. And they die with that stuff. They get theirs and die with it. They die fat. Same valley as some other dude that dies with nothing. Yeah, I know that God punishes the wicked. Yes, I know that they get theirs and they go to hell and they're, ushered into destruction and anger and fury. But that's then. They're fine here. So it's like you're making no comfort to me. So he's a tough place that he's in, man, and he's really trying to. And again, this is new. This is new. This is like Abraham contemporary, maybe a little before Abraham. This is, or maybe right after Abraham, rather. This is new. They're hashing these ideas out for the first time. They're coming to these realizations. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Read your Bible.